My name is Elizabeth, aka Lizo, and we are at the Richer Hand offices in Nunguja. Today I have a very important host, co-host. I'll let him introduce himself and we shall roll in for the conversations with Digital Voices for Safe Journeys campaign.
Hi everyone, my name is Joel Okitwi, young person, work closely with Richer Hand Uganda.
Joel, what is irregular migration?
Irregular migration, I would say, first of all, it's not regular. But secondly, it sounds like you're moving out of the country through like dubious means. You're not using the right channels, you're not going through the right processes, right? So I'd say if I wanted to move out of the country, the right process would be, have your passport ready, go through the right channels, pass through the airport or the borders properly, not being stuffed behind a car, for example. But it's just a streamlined process where you're law abiding and you're going by, the right pathway to move out of the country.
I think for me to put it just to a context of school,
Jumping over the fence.
jumping over the fence and using the windows as your door to enter the dormitory.
Yeah.
It's irregular, like it's illegal.
I mean, just get a permission slip and you move out of the gate.
Kindly go to the metro and ask.
Yeah.
Just because now for this, the metro, I would think it's
Is like the government or
the ministry bodies.
Ministry of Internal Affairs, something like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
gender.
Yeah, Ministry of Gender, yeah. So you go through them to actually get out. I think there's an immigration office actually you should pass through, right? Yeah, so they vet your, is it immunization or vaccination status to make sure
I think it's vaccination.
it's a vaccination,
Yeah.
yeah. So make sure like you're healthy to go abroad and you just have the right paperwork to move, really.
Because I think also just entering Kenya, there is that yellow fever
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. You have to get the yellow
If you
fever
don't have
shot
that,
and all that.
my brother, you can't cross that border. Just also to, why are we going outside as young people? Is the hustle not hustling in here in UG?
That's an interesting question. I think young people in Uganda, we're very smart people,
Yeah.
very ambitious as well. But for one reason or another, we may not have the opportunities we want, like in-house or in-country. So I think the idea of going outside paints that vision of you're going to have your dream job or dream opportunity, you're going to study and get better grades or something like that. But largely due to our unemployment status, I think so many people are going abroad. It's not for a lack of trying, by the way. I think people try. You try, but what happens if you try and fail like a million times? And then there's an option to actually go abroad. So I think people go outside. I don't want to say as a last resort, but as I think as a hopeful measure to like get what they're dreaming for. Yeah.
And the different angles
Yeah.
they're in.
Yeah.
Since now we're in the Women's Month and you're a gentleman, we see very many women go out of the country to do education, jobs, and all, but things really don't turn out very well for women. And I don't know if you've heard of any case of seen or
Yeah. About like women getting abused and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had so many stories of, and unfortunately it's mostly women who move out and they're abused. Actually, even before they actually get out of the country, they could be, as they are trying to get documentation, they could be abused. Like there's just so many levels of abuse some women go through.
yeah.
So yeah, we've had stories of women who, let's say, are not going through the right channels. Yeah. So someone tells you, "Hi, there's a quick deal here. We can travel abroad. Just give me, say, 5 million, and then you'll go to like this job and go to this country and get this kind of job." So you're paying the money. One, the money may disappear. Someone may just ghost you. Two, they could ask for sex in exchange for, that job opportunity. So that's even before you leave the country.
where the job opportunity it does not exist.
It may actually not exist.
Yeah.
And that's even before you leave the country. In the process of moving, again, if you're going through like irregular means, there's so much that could happen in that transit between, let's say Uganda to another country. There's so many instances of like people getting raped mid-journey meanwhile. Yeah, so imagine people are moving by, I don't know what, I don't have like expert knowledge, but imagine people are moving by a trailer or something, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're all stuffed into this one vehicle. I mean, you could get abused and no one could actually know. And who do you report to? if you're using an irregular channel, right?
So you have to stay put and quiet.
Yeah,
and
you stay mum. First of all, who are you reporting to anyway? Yeah, so you just have to stay quiet without abuse and hope that you're gonna reach and there's actually heaven on the other side. But then there's reaching the other side and it's more exploitation.
Yeah.
We've had so many women getting abused with, I don't want to say kinky bosses, but there's moving abroad and you've heard how the whole BDSM thing was happening in the Middle East and whatnot. Those stories are online, guys. Yeah,
And on top of it is that most of them are never paid.
yeah,
They don't have access to their documentations. They don't
exactly.
have this, but everything actually starts from within here.
Yeah,
So most cases, when anything is fishy, you don't understand. They're telling you can't give access to this. We have your documents. You can't get access to your visa.
exactly.
For every lady out there, really, as a lady, a young lady, but really anything that concerns you not having your own freedom, I feel like it's the biggest red flag.
Yeah, and since we're also in the month of women, as a young man, I'm a brother, I'm a son.
Yeah.
You know, all the brothers and sons out there, shout out to you. But I think it's also important if someone is telling you, "Hey, I have this opportunity. I want to go abroad." Speak to them. Make sure they're going through the right processes, right?
Yeah.
I think people may undermine or like not pay so much attention to these things, but they're actually very important. Yeah.
And also, I think just to add this, it's really the government is not our enemy, actually, if you look at
Yeah.
it, because we have different bodies that are there to help omuntu wa bulijjo,
Yeah.
as quoted, the normal you, the normal me, a person who is not known but is actually working to see, to go, to get better education, to get more money, greener pastures. But then you decide to trust people who are fraudsters, people who know how to convince you to take up something.
Exactly.
And the next thing we know is that everything you've done is in vain, and on top of it, you can't even have access back home.
Sure.
So just to prevent more cases of young people, young women leaving this country, being exploited, being used, and they're having different issues far away from home that even the home people or people in the government of Uganda
May not
or
be
people who
aware
could
of.
be of help
Yeah.
don't know of. It's hard to help. So this campaign really is for you to understand, but also to learn, to embrace, because in this campaign journey that we have been having as digital voices for safe journeys, we are learning, relearning, and unlearning day in, day out from the different experts that will be coming through, to the different stories that we are seeing online. I think we just need to leave the comfort zone of, I'll figure it out, don't figure it out.
Oh yeah,
No.
there's those people. I'll figure it out when I get there. Actually, yeah.
What are you going to figure it out
Which is very
in a foreign
chaotic.
country?
Yeah, exactly,
And
like-
whereby maybe this skin is not their skin, guys. I'm not saying anything, I don't mean that. But what if?
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
what are the odds?
Yeah, very high.
So, and also just to emphasize really, as young people, I think we really need to take on of our own decisions when it comes to life. At times, don't your friend is going to give you the best advice. At times, it's going to be maybe your mentor, if you have one, or that newsletter or newspaper article, or that
Yeah, I think research is really important. Yeah.
so there's
yeah.
so many different things. Research doesn't mean to sit down and read very many things,
Yeah.
textbooks, what. I think it's just really you being interested in a topic and understanding from ground
Yeah,
to the end bit of it all.
that's so true.
What's your call to action for the different, okay, not call to action, but what's your advice mostly to the different young ladies out there who really have plans of going to do different things abroad?
My piece of advice to young ladies, not only ladies also, but men, but I know ladies really face a lot of hardship, probably.
Yeah.
I would say do your research, do your groundwork. Due diligence really helps a lot. Know what you need before you go out, during the process of moving, when you get to the other side. It's really, I wouldn't advise anyone to figure it out when you get there. Yeah, those are not things that you can, because your life is on the line, your reputation is on the line. So think of your families before you move out. Think of yourself, think of that future that you thought you would have when you traveled abroad, really. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joel. And just to take you back, this campaign has been running from last year to date, and on all our social media platforms, we are saying Digital Voices for Safe Journeys is something that you and the whole entire country needs to be engaged in. These conversations need to be pushed beyond boundaries to young people deep down in the village, all over the country, but all over the world, so that even those who are planning, even though to come to Uganda, they understand what Uganda's status is.
Yeah.
If you're planning to go to any sister country that we have or neighborhood, what is needed, what are the countries that are visa free, and all this information, really, I'll just direct you to the external employment management information systems. That's where for all our social media platforms, we are referring you to there because they are the experts. And we believe you get the best information from them, the best advice from them, and it doesn't really require a lot of research because they have everything packaged out for you so that you can be able to understand. So visit them, go on their portal, ask, see through their website, get an understanding before you make that decision to leave the country,
To move on.
to go anywhere, to suffer the more. Trust me, all these things have been created for you as a young person to be able to make better decisions. I just want to say thank you to all our partners who have been part of this. The Youth Cafe, we thank you a lot. The European Union, we thank you a lot. But mostly for Reach a Hand Uganda for allowing young people to take lead in these discussions and campaigns, and to see that they inform fellow young people and the ripple effect never ends. I remain Elizabeth, and it's been a pleasure to have you, Joel.
Thank you, Lizzo.
See you next time. It's still Digital Voices for Safe Journey.